Folks, some more unfortunate injury news for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as Luke Goedeke is expected to miss possibly multiple weeks. Let's talk about it. Shout out to Sleeper, by the way. More on them a little bit later on in this video. Per Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, quote, Bucs right tackle Luke Goedeke avoided major injury Monday night, but is expected to miss time, possibly multiple weeks per sources. The belief is that Goedeke re-aggravated a foot injury he battled during the practice week. So this is something that we did talk about in the injury report video leading up to the Bucs week 2 game versus the Houston Texans. We all knew that Goedeke had that foot injury and was dealing with it. So before we dive deeper into this, I do want to say, look, wish nothing but the best for Luke Goedeke in terms of his recovery. I hope that he does take the proper time now to heal from this foot injury, to be as 100% as he can be, and not re-aggravate that foot injury yet again. Now, the first question I have here is, if Goedeke was in serious jeopardy of re-aggravating that foot injury, why did the Bucs let him play in the first place? I understand that there's a lot of concern on the offensive line right now, and Goedeke, hey, he is your $20+ million per year right tackle. You know, if he is going to be available, you should probably send him out there. But folks, this isn't the playoffs. This isn't a Super Bowl. This is week 2 of the regular season. If Goedeke needed a little bit more time, he should have been given a little bit more time, in my opinion. What are your guys' thoughts and opinions on that? Do you think the Buccaneers were jumping the gun by letting Goedeke play? Obviously they were, because he re-aggravated that foot injury, but do you put that on Goedeke maybe wanting to play? Do you put that on the Buccaneers staff because it's like, hey, we're going to prevent you, from hurting yourself out there? Who knows? Real quick, guys, I do want to say a quick shout out to Sleeper for being the proud sponsor of this channel. If you guys do use the code MrBucs, you will get a $100 deposit match up to $100. Guys, make sure you download the Sleeper app today and enjoy sports the way it was meant to be. That is together. Now, again, it's a weird situation because it's like, who do you blame in this? Is it the coaching staff for not keeping Goedeke safe from himself type thing, where it's like, hey dude, you may think you're ready to play, but we don't think you're ready to play? Is it a combination of both? I don't know, man. I would genuinely love to hear you guys sound off about this in the comments section. You guys do offer a lot of great insight, so sound off in the comments about that. But look, the situation has happened now. The blame game can only go so far. The Bucs have to move forward, and if he is going to be missing multiple weeks, what are the Bucs going to do on their offensive line? Well, Tristan Wirfs may be coming back soon. That's huge. He is listed as questionable for week 3 versus the New York Jets. If he could possibly return in week 3, that would be a huge benefit to the offensive line. However, now with the Luke Goedeke thing, I wonder if they're going to be like, no, Tristan, you're not coming back until you're fully ready to go, because we don't need you re-aggravating your injury and getting hurt as well. So if Wirfs does not come back, your offensive line would look like Graham Barton at left tackle, Mike Jordan at left guard, Ben Bredesen at center, Cody Mock at right guard, and Charlie Heck at right tackle. This would be a very difficult situation, in my opinion, because the Bucs would only have 2 backup offensive linemen. You would have Elijah Klein, who is your interior backup offensive lineman at this point, and Benjamin Chukwuma, who would be your backup right tackle and left tackle at this point. That is not a ton of depth in that offensive line. Now, you do have a few guys on the practice squad that you could very well elevate on game day, and quite frankly, I think the Buccaneers will look to elevate those guys, or possibly even promote one of those guys as well, because the Bucs are very thin right now in terms of offensive line depth. You've got Luke Haggard, who is a tackle on the Buccaneers website. You've also got, again, Mike Jordan. He's been elevated a couple of times now, may very well get promoted in this situation. Tyler McClellan is a backup tackle. Lorenz Metz is a backup offensive lineman, and Ben Scott is a backup guard as well. If the Bucs are super worried about their overall tackle depth, I feel like the first couple of guys that would get that nod to get promoted would be elevated, I should say, would be Luke Haggard and Tyler McClellan, maybe Lorenz Metz in there as well. But this is a very unfortunate situation. If Wirfs does come back, you're looking at Tristan Wirfs at left tackle, you're looking at Ben Bredesen at left guard, you're looking at Graham Barton at center, Cody Mock at right guard, and then right tackle's a toss-up. You could throw Mike Jordan out there. He's been awesome. I made a whole video talking about the story of Mike Jordan. I really do love the guy. Think he's done some phenomenal work. But you could also have Charlie Heck or Benjamin Chukwuma out there as well. Charlie Heck did get the nod to sub in throughout the remainder of week 2 versus the Texans once Goedeke went down. Wasn't great, in my opinion. I guess there's a reason the Bucs decided to not play Charlie Heck at left tackle and decided to shift their entire offensive line around because Charlie Heck didn't do that great at right tackle. So, who knows? I still think he'd probably get the nod at right tackle, either him or Mike Jordan, in my opinion. Benjamin Chukwuma, I feel like, would be there just as a backup, in my opinion. So, really, folks, this is the scenario the Bucs find themselves in. More offensive line injuries are just continuing to pile up and pile up and pile up, and the Bucs offensive line is really shifting around major right now. Fingers crossed that Goedeke and Wirfs can get back as soon as possible. They're the 2 best offensive linemen you have at this point. Your 2 $20+ million per year tackles. So yeah, you want those guys back and healthy because that helps out the entire offense, baby. So what are your guys' thoughts and opinions about this injury news? Let me know down in the comments section below. I'd love to hear it. One more shout out to Sleeper, by the way, for being the proud sponsor of this channel. Greatly appreciated. And as always, guys, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now and go Bucs.